Thinking about towing with a Ford F-150 and wondering just how much it can actually handle? Well, whether you're eyeing a classic from the 70s or a brand new 2025 model, today we're breaking down 50 years of Ford F-150 towing and payload capacity right here. Hey folks, Tom here from Car Justify. I've worked on more F-150s than I can count, and I've towed everything from jet skis to car haulers with these trucks. So today we're going to walk through how the F-150's towing and payload numbers have changed, from 1975 all the way to 2025. Let's kick it off with the 1970s, back when seatbelts were optional and everything smelled like gas and vinyl. The first official F-150 came out in 1975, and back then you were looking at a max towing capacity of around 5,000 pounds, give or take, depending on the engine and rear axle. Payload was right around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. Keep in mind, this was a heavy, old-school truck. Not a ton of horsepower, but solid as a rock. Jump ahead to the 1980s, and Ford started refining things a bit. By 1985, if you had the right setup, like the 5.8-liter V8 and towing package, you could pull around 7,000 pounds. Payload stayed fairly steady in that 1,500 to 2,200 range. Still not a monster by today's standards, but definitely enough for a camper or a small trailer. Then came the 1990s. I call this the modernizing decade. In 1997, the F-150 got a full redesign with the new rounded body style. If you had the 5.4-liter Triton V8, towing jumped up to around 8,000 pounds. Payload was climbing too. Some configs hit 2,300 pounds. My uncle actually towed a 21-foot boat with his 98 F-150. Slow going uphill, but it got there. Alright, now the 2000s. This is where the F-150 started to really grow up. In 2004, Ford launched the 11th Gen F-150, and towing shot up to about 9,500 pounds with the right engine and towing package. Payload was solid too, around 2,500 pounds depending on cab and bed size. Big jump in refinement too, nicer ride, better brakes, stronger frame. Then we get to the 2010s, and this is where things get wild. In 2011, Ford dropped the 3.5-liter EcoBoost Turbo V6, and everyone was like, wait, a V6 can tow? Yeah, and tow it did, up to 11,300 pounds in some models. The lighter aluminum body came out in 2015, and by then, max towing hit 12,200 pounds, with payload pushing up to 3,300 pounds in the right trim. And now? The 2020s F-150s are basically towing machines with heated seats and Wi-Fi. In 2021, the hybrid Power Boost engine showed up, and believe it or not, it tows up to 12,700 pounds. That's wild. And payload? Just over 3,300 pounds max if you spec it right, usually in a regular cab with the heavy-duty payload package. The 2025 models? Ford hasn't reinvented the wheel this year, but they've fine-tuned things. Max towing is right around 13,500 pounds, and payload holds steady at that 3,300 mark, depending on bed, cab, axle ratio, and of course, your engine choice. You've got options like the 5.0-liter V8, the EcoBoost V6s, and the Power Boost Hybrid still hanging strong. Now, couple quick notes if you're trying to figure out what your own F-150 can handle. First, always check your door jam sticker or the Ford towing guide. Those numbers change depending on axle ratio, drivetrain, cab size, even the wheels sometimes. Two trucks that look identical can have very different towing limits. I've seen people overload their truck because they thought it was the same as their buddies. Second, if you're towing close to your max, get a weight distribution hitch and make sure your trailer brakes are dialed in. Doesn't matter if the truck can tow it, it has to stop it too. And hey, payload matters just as much. I see folks load up the bed with gravel or gear and forget that tongue weight from a trailer counts toward payload too. Don't ignore that number. Alright, quick decade-by-decade recap for you. 1975, around 5,000 pounds towing. 1985, around 7,000. 1997, up to 8,000. 2004, around 9,500. 2011, hits 11,300 with EcoBoost. 2015, 12,200 with the aluminum body. 2021, hybrid tows 12,700. 2025, maxes out around 13,500 towing, 3,300 payload. Bottom line, the F-150's come a long way, but it's still a tool, and tools only work if you know how to use them right. Whether you're towing a lawn trailer or a bass boat, just make sure you know your numbers and you'll be golden. If this helped you figure out what your truck can really handle, or if you're shopping for an F-150 and didn't know what those numbers meant, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more straight talk car advice from a guy who spent half his life under a hood. Thanks for watching, and hey, tow smart, not just strong. Catch you in the next one.